All right. Good morning, good afternoon, happy Mother's Day, good evening, wherever you happen to be on a pretty cool sort of Sunday morning in Melbourne, unfortunately. It's been raining all night and it's still drizzling, so uh, I can't see exactly. And I can see radars in here and Gene Blair and Neil's here. Unfortunately, I'm a
G'day, Neil.
little bit out of breath this morning, so I might just stand here and chat rather than try and do something because I may end up on the floor. But I'll just quickly show you what we've got on the camera instead of my ugly face. This annoys
So
me,
while
this
you're
thing
doing that,
sometimes.
Robbo, we've got Tommy, Donald, some dodgy SIDS repurposing, Radar's in, Terry Bray's in, Blair's in, Chris Bailey, Steve Ash is in, Neil's there, g'day Neil. And Jennifer's Crafts and Creations has just dropped in, so g'day everyone and happy Mother's Day to any mothers that are watching.
How you going, everyone? I'm a bit laggy today, so.
All right, I'll just pop
Hi.
these two into the background there. Right, so far we've got, there it is there. It's looking pretty good. I've still got a hollow at the inside of it yet. G'day, Justin. How are you? But like I said, I'm not feeling real flesh this morning. But I did finally get my face shield and thingo, and I have been using it just while I've been walking around the workshop. I must admit, when I've got it on, I look like something out of Alien, but it does do a fantastic job of blowing air through and keeping the crap out that I'm breathing in. So that's one advantage, I suppose. Cost a fortune, but I suppose your lungs are worth something. The other thing that I was going to use today is the negative rake scraper. Now, my negative rake scrapers are a little bit different than the normal ones you buy. The woodcut one is actually modelled to a certain extent after this one. I've had one of these for probably 30, maybe nearly 35 years. I don't rely on a burr on there. It's just a sharp edge, and it's used in the scraper mode, which is on the rest, handle high, cutting low. I was hoping to use that a little bit later, but I don't think that'll come into fruition. Now, I turn a little bit differently than everybody else when I'm doing bowls. Most people, when they're doing a bowl, come from here and go down. I don't. I go across there and come from the other side. Now that means that I don't, when you're going through the transition here, I don't lose any bevel support or anything like that. And I don't have to get what the Yanks call a bottom feeder to get around that transition curve, because it's actually cutting on this wing down here. So it just saves a lot of time. You just rip straight down there. And sometimes I'll even stand on the other side of the lathe. Now, if this had spin blocks on the chucks and everything, I may even be tempted to turn over the other side there, like Keith Greenfield does. Circular wood by Keith. He quite often comes in over this side and just comes down there, which can be a bit of an advantage sometimes.
Shay's just dropped in, Robbo. G'day, Shay.
Ah, g'day, Shay. How are you? And if JP
Hello,
drops in, happy birthday, JP. I don't normally put many birthday greetings up on the Facebook in these days, so I'm getting a bit lazy, I suppose. Just got to have a slurp on my cup of tea.
Elixir of life.
Oh, that's better. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a question and answer thing, if you like. If you've got any questions or anything, whack them in the chat, and I'll endeavour to answer them. Oh, g'day, Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Hello, Barry.
So to give a bit of perspective and scale, Robbo, that tool rest is a 12-inch tool rest?
It's actually 13 inches.
So it's a bit bigger than it. So it's, yep.
Yeah, but like this is a full-size scraper. It's got a about probably a 200 mil blade and nearly a 400 mil handle, I suppose. So that gives you an idea of the size of the bowl. 540 or 550 across, I think, and 140 mil deep.
So 22 inches-ish.
Yeah.
So Justin's got a question there for you.
Yeah. Yes, Justin, it is a slicing cut. If you keep the flute the right way. Just bear with me. I'll go and get a little item out of my office that explains it much better. This is just a little vole turning gouge, all right? Just a small one. Now, if you approach the timber straight in like that with this wing here, you are asking for probably an almighty catch. If you turn it right over like that and close the flute right down, all it is doing on this bottom part here is scraping. When you get it at 45, you've got a little bit of bevel support behind here, and it's a slicing cut. So yes, it's a slicing cut, Justin. I hope that answers the question.
Yep. Steve Ash has a question there for you too, Robbo.
Right. Right. A dimple or a pimple in the centre. I must admit, I tend to put a little bit of a dimple in the centre of my bowls when I'm doing them. And then I sand down to it to get flat. The main reason that you're getting it is, and I'm not being rude, is tool technique or technique, because the centre is going a lot slower than the outer rim, and people don't slow down. What you should technically be doing is, and I'll just demonstrate, and this is just a quick thing, I'll do it with one hand. Put that out of the way. You traverse across here. Out here, you can be moving like that. But you should be slowing down as you get towards the centre so you can get a nice smooth cut there. Because the centre there is going very, very slowly. So you come across here and just take it off on the inside of the gouge. If you're using the scraper, come from the centre out a little bit so that you keep a nice flat surface, because people tend to back off when they get towards the centre. If you start in the centre and make a reasonable cut and flare it off as you come out from the outside towards the outside.
Mike's just come in. How you going, Mike?
G'day, Mike. How are you?
Hey, Mike.
Mike, got to ask, what are you making with that vernier caliper that you had to destroy it? And Chris, thank you. I'm glad I've helped someone along the way. Now,
Shay had a question up a little, just up above Chris there, Robbo. How are you feeling, and did the mask end up coming?
Yeah, my mask ended up coming. Sorry, I keep moving the cursor across the face of the thing, and it, of course, cuts out the question. Oh, shit. It's most annoying. Okay, right.
Top secret version 2.
How am I feeling, Shay? A little bit breathless at the moment. I'm feeling as well as I can, considering the circumstances. So I go in for an operation on the 25th of May to stop my heart from fibrillating. It's the top half of it's fibrillating, the bottom half fluttering, so it can't make up its mind whether it wants to dance or run. That's hopefully they're going to fix that. And yes, my mask did come.
I suppose the one thing with the test, Robbo, is you can now definitively say that you are not a heartless bastard.
Well, that actually surprised quite a few people. I should have kept the scan to show them that I do have a heart. Yeah, why not? Sorry, I'm a bit behind on the chat, I'm afraid, so I'm just going back through it.
So just while Robbo's doing that, g'day Yappy, how you going? Yeah, I'm heading over to see Robbo once this live's finished, pretty much jumping in the car and heading across. So I'll check in on him for you all.
G'day, Yappy. How are you?
Yappy? Sorry. How you going, Yappy?
That's all right.
Landy, how are you?
G'day, Landy. Happy
Hello,
Mother's
Landy.
Day. Yeah, actually, Yolanda was coming down today to do some sanding, but she thought that Mother's Day was more important, which it is, and probably just as well because I won't be doing any sanding. Now, there was a comment here from Radar, I think. No, Steve Ash. Robbo, yep. I pretty much learned by watching YouTube. Did have one lesson with the tiny turner last year. Obviously, I never need more. All I can say is that I've been turning for 40 years, and as far as I'm over 40 years, and I still consider every day, in a lot of cases, a practice day. So I'm still learning. Oh, we've got 20 in. Very good. Thank you.
21.
Yeah. To all those 3 people there, I hope you're all going well. Any more questions? Any questions? That might be it.
Are you going to use that bit of kit up against? Are you going to use that bit of kit up against the wall to take the tenon off?
Yeah, down on the floor there.
Yeah.
Yes, probably. That'll be stage 4.
Yep.
In fact, for those of you that don't know what Jay's referring to, he's referring to this. What we do is put cleats on that. I've actually got a video of how it's made. Not this one, but a smaller one. And put cleats on that and then fit the bowl into it. It's like a big set of cold jaws, but it works far more efficiently than what cold jaws do. I hate cold jaws or bowl jaws or whatever they're called for the simple reason I've seen too many bowls flip out of them.
So Terry's just put a comment in. Hey, Robbo, you're not just learning now, you're also teaching us. Steve, Ash, too early and not drunk enough to sleep yet. And Chris Dodds I think he's apologised for being late because he's not almost late. He is. Just go and stand in the naughty corner for a minute, Chris.
Yeah. Bloody Queenslanders, you just can't trust them. That's the whole point.
Even now, we're all on the same time zone now. He still can't keep up.
Yeah.
Neil got here on time.
How you going, Chris? Did Neil shit the bed?
No. You got to feel sorry
got him up.
You've got to feel sorry for Neil at the moment. He got home and opened the doors of his house, and there is mold all the way through the house. You can't actually be in the house. So
that's messed up.
Yeah,
is that from wood drying?
Don't know.
He left a window open or something, he said, and it got with the humidity up there, it got a lot of moisture in and ideal growing conditions for mould.
Yeah. And mushrooms.
Magic mushies? You could make a bit of money out of that, Neil, if you got the right mushrooms in there.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah. You should have laid them out better.
And you're not far from Nimbin.
Well, Steve Ash, I see you poor colonials not using the correct time like the Queen expects. Well, I don't know. The Queen expects daylight savings time as well, so the Queenslanders are doing it wrong according to that.
Yeah, well, these Pommy people, like they're hours behind us anyway. And like it's 11 degrees in the workshop here at the moment. Geez, they'd be down to their undies turning because it's too hot.
Justin just put a comment in, referring to Neil. At least he didn't set the place on fire again.
Oh, maybe it was too wet to burn.
Hey, Terry, Neil knows how to go on a trip. He's not like you where he goes away for a couple of days and just comes back. Neil was away for months. How long was he at your place for, Robbo? A few months, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, 4 or 5 months, actually. And I have to say, like, he was a great help.
And don't say that aloud. Don't say it aloud.
And I'm very, very grateful for him.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of work done there.
That's right. Yeah, we don't want the curtains to fade. Yeah, they'd be terrible if they did. In actual fact, and I shouldn't say this. Yeah, that's right, Terry. We cop it all first, and then. But the thing is that we don't tell you about it. We let you find out for yourself.
How you going, Rex?
G'day, Rex.
Hey, Rex.
No, I was always amazed on 9/11 why a lot of the Americans there said, "You Australians are 5, 6 hours ahead of us. Why didn't you let us know it was going to happen?" Just shake my head in wonder at some people, I tell you.
Rex, the fire was quite some years ago, so no, you didn't miss it by much.
I'm not doing any turning at the moment, Rex. I'm breathless. Not because I've got that husky voice, but things aren't going. Things aren't going well.
Day, and
Just blame me that he can't turn. All right, is that cool?
No, I don't blame anybody but myself. I only got myself
Jay
to
is
blame.
the youngest one.
Yeah.
You always blame the youngest.
Yeah.
So, Robbo, a question from me, and it could be just perspective from here.
Yep.
It looks, so is that tool rest set up for scraping? It looks from here that it's set up just above centre.
No, it's actually right. It's actually right on centre when the tool's put on there. So, wait on. I'll show you. Head on.
Yep. It's funny how the camera's perspective gives you a different look at it.
Yeah, normally the camera's a little bit higher, so yes, it is giving a bit of an optical illusion, I suppose.
Yeah, Steve, you get some good questions from. I think if anything, it's a bit like South Australia. If anything's outside the toll gate, no one knows where it is, and if anything's off mainland America, no one knows where it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as Neil says, the mould problem is in insurance hands at the moment. Try saying that quick.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the same problem out here, Steve, with things like that. Like people say, "Oh, I got friends in Australia. You might know them. They live in Sydney." Yeah, right. I'm only 1,000 kilometres away from Sydney.
You're right on there, Blair. I've actually got a T-shirt too that says education is important, but wood turning is important.
Yeah, that's right. And they don't know how to measure things. They measure 4 by 2 by 4, and that's in inches.
Round.
That's in inches, not metric. And as Chris says, yeah, they do the date the wrong way round, which can be very disconcerting sometimes.
And their gallon and pint is smaller than an imperial gallon and pint.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
It's just so I think that's just so they can make out they've got more. 2 mil by 4 mil.
Yeah. We measure the width and then the thickness. They don't. They measure the thickness and then the width.
So it sounds like Amy might come for a drive tomorrow, Robbo.
Sorry, what's that?
Sounds like Amy might come for a drive tomorrow.
Oh, that would be good.
I was chatting to her last night, and she said she might come over for a drive. Say good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not, Blair. It's on the left side.
It's on the left side, which is the wrong side.
Correct. That would be embarrassing, Justin. No, Terry, is he home now? Chris has just put in the only time the Americans got the date right was on the 2nd of February 22.
Yeah, that's right. Very good, Chris.
No, that's good, Terry.
Yeah, well, I must admit I'd use both measurements, like it might be 2.4, 1 inch.
Well, so car tyres are really interesting. If you go to, so you have a car tyre, it might be a 205, 65, 15. So the 15 is the rim size in inches. The 205 is the tread width in millimetres. And the 65 is the wall height as a percentage of the tread width.
Yeah, exactly. To answer Rex, on really dry wood and very light wood, your redwood's got very open grain like Oregon or Sequoia. And it is sometimes very difficult. You have to take a very light cut with a very sharp tool and have dead steady hands. And take light cut across the face to get it out evenly. Now, if you're sanding it, and I have to confess that I have used 80 grit sandpaper on it, put it on a block. Yeah, put it on a block. Don't try and freehand sand it. In other words, wrap the sandpaper around something really solid and flat and sand it with that. Because what happens if you sand it with your fingers is that it follows the hard and soft grain and you end up with little ripples all the way through it.
The other factor in there too, Rex, is do all your sanding until your pockets are gone with your coarsest paper you're going to use, and then use the lighter papers to take the marks away from the coarse paper. So don't, if you've said you sanded a bunch at 120 and 180, you should sand at one grit until you've got it right, and then start going down through the grits or up through the grits.
Yeah. I hope that helps you out. Now, Terry, yeah, that apparently was a fantastic show. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it, Warhorse. And in a past life, I used to be heavily involved in amateur theatre. I was a stage manager and various other things. So,
yeah, Bob, how are you travelling, mate? Hope you're you're in the wars, I see from Facebook, so I hope you feel going a bit better.
Yeah,
How you going,
so do
Bob?
I. That's the trouble with all our old farts, Bob. We're falling apart. I describe myself as a flooded house, actually. I've looked pretty good on the outside, but the inside's absolutely stuffed.
Did you say you look good on the outside, Robbo?
Well, I haven't changed much.
Oh, sorry, just clarifying.
Okay. Chris has asked, what's the proper cut on a bowl towards the headstock or away from it, outside or inside? Okay, now, if it is in normal bowl orientation, which is the grain running across the lathe, when you are turning the outside, you start from the centre and work towards the rim. On the inside, you start from the rim and work towards the centre. So on this one, for instance, you would be turning from here in that way. On the outside, you start from there and go around that way. It's all to do with grain orientation. If the grain's going across the lathe like this, then, and you try cutting from the inside, you're going to lift it all up. It's like stroking a cat or a dog. If you stroke the fur the wrong way, it's going to raise it out. So always work towards the supported grain. Now, there's been a little bit of a thing in the last 10 years or so where people are doing end grain bowls. That's exactly the opposite because it's spindle turning, basically. You do from the outside towards the centre on the outside. On the inside, you come from the middle out.
Terry's commented that he's afraid he's starting to fall apart as well.
Yeah, seems to be happening to a lot of us, unfortunately.
Are you on holidays still, Terry, or are you back again? I've had that dodgy Pete from Twisted Trees doing some dodgy turning on your slot last few weeks.
I think Terry's having a good time with the young chickie babes, judging by the last photo that went up on the on Facebook.
Well, that could have something to do with why he's starting to fall apart as well. Then.
Yeah. Oh, that's no good, Bob. Good to see you keeping up the tradition, Terry. Yes, on a hollow form, provided that the grain is along the bed of the lathe in a spindle turning mode, real turning, then yes, you work from the centre to the outside. How you manage to turn with a knee brace and a cane? Probably a bit blunt.
Oh dear.
And Terry, that's what you said. It was a long time ago. Picky doesn't lie, you know. You might have one of those canes where the blade comes out the end, you know, when you press a button.
Yeah, or a sword. Just pull it out
Yeah.
of the middle of the cane.
How you going there, Robbo?
All right. Okay. So far. Yeah, that's right, Justin. Retractable spindle gouge. I wonder if it has to use Allen keys to lock it in, or whether it's got a knurled lock on it.
Bombed, Bob bombed.
Good on you, Rex. I like that. All right, folks. I might call it a day. Thank you for those that came in, and thank you for all the kind words as well, and the support that a lot of people have given me via Messenger and various other things. I'll be away next weekend, and then after that I'll be in hospital for a couple of days or a few days, recovering from an operation, and hopefully all that goes well.
Jennifer, here it's 8 a.m. At Robbo's it would be 8:30 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, Yarpy. Yes, I have got one, and you're right. It is called a lathe knife. For what they use it for, it's absolutely fantastic. But I still prefer my skew for most of my work, and the skew seems to work a lot better for the sort of work that we do. Got to remember that they're working with a very soft timber and it's wet, so that's why it goes so very well. I always try to take it easy, and I must admit that's the hardest thing that I've had to learn over the last 18 months, actually, I suppose, ever since I had the stent put in. And I'm not used to sitting around doing absolutely nothing, and it teases me right off. I've got a stronger word than that, but not on open YouTube. Thank you for all the wishes, and all right, I'm going to about shut it down. You never
So,
know.
all thanks for dropping in.
I might feel well enough that while Sid's here, we might do a live as well, but it'll be a pop-up one, and it just depends on how I feel. All right. See you all later.
See you, everyone.
Wait,
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone, and
I'll
happy
just bring
Mother's Day.
Yeah, there they are.
Because you should warn us, I could have been naked, Robbo. It was Naked Gardening Day yesterday.
Yes, I know, but it's all right. I checked before I opened it up.
Ah, phew. Okay.
All right. See you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.